All I'm going to say is his role there was a lot better than the last role I saw him in, which was Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief.
He was great.
Fuck off, Josh.
That's a good film.
He played a fucking centaur, dude. Come on, how low could you get?
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan's fucking ancient. Why would he play one of those?
Well, I want to go back to World X.
Steve, you're fucking sidetracking.
He plays a teacher. You know how it's really like relatable in a way. I think that everyone's got that one teacher that they really got on with, and he was like really down to earth. You know, was
like
a great
Michael Jackson.
Like Percy Jackson. The teacher in that who's just quite likeable because he's a horseman.
No Percy Jackson, dude.
What?
Percy Jackson and Pierce Brosnan's character was Pierce.
I didn't say his character was in Percy Jackson. You fucking.
Was the teacher's name?
Shepherd.
Oh, you gives a fuck.
Mr. Brosnan.
Mr. Shepherd.
Mr.
Shepherd. Mr. Shepherd and Percy Jackson are completely different characters. I don't know where you got that from.
What are you talking about?
Trying to make a comparison between Percy Jackson and
No, not
Percy Jackson is I'm assuming he's a teenager, like Harry Potter, isn't he?
He is a teenager.
We didn't make a comparison between Percy Jackson, the teenage wizard, and fucking Pierce Brosnan in The World's End. No, the Centaur!
He said they're both very likeable characters. What?
The centaur dude that he plays in the Percy Jackson.
Centaur is a terrible role.
Was he?
No, he was still a teacher though. And I got on with Percy.
He got on with Percy. So a centaur rode a teenager and a teenager rode a centaur. What? What?
Well, I'm gonna like bypass all of that shit because that's exactly what it is. And well, you all know where the world's end is, don't you, in Camden?
It's a different one.
That's a different one, though.
It's a very it is a different one. It's a very well known. I think they made a great choice by choosing even the King's Head as well. The King's Head is a very, very well known chain of pubs, so they made quite a nice connection there,
isn't it? Because in Shaun of the Dead, when Ed's talking to Shaun, when he's in the Winchester, when he's just got over crying about Liz, he talks about that tomorrow they should go to these other pubs, and he mentions the King's Head. So I guess you could kind of say that's like a little reference. So yeah.
As we're on the subject of the pubs in the World's End, because I know, of course, we're discussing it straight after we saw the film, and Gerald and Josh made a comparison between each pub they visit and an event that unfolds that's related to the pub that they're in.
Yeah, it's kind of like how the World's End obviously is the end of the film, but like when they go to all the different ones, like everything seems to fit to what it was, like the beehive, then there's suddenly loads of them everywhere and they keep coming and going, it's ridiculous. So yeah.
And there's two-headed dog, which has the twins.
Well, these films are known for doing that. There's loads of different things like that in the three films, like the Shaun of the Dead, talking about Pete, next time I see him he's dead, next time they see him he is dead. Hot Fuzz, they talk about Nicholas Angel jumping in the previous copper from London's grave. At the end of the film, he's literally in his grave. And with this, throughout the pubs, like, it tells you what's going to happen, and there's like subtle little references like that in all three of the films.
Was there any mention of this is talking about Hot Fuzz? Was there any mention of Angel's mum?
What?
Because because in the World's End, what's his name?
Gary King.
What's his first name? Gary King. His mum dies in the end, and in Shaun of the Dead, his mum dies.
I don't.
In Hot Fuzz, his tree
Japanese
dies.
Peace Lily.
Oh, it's a tree. Right.
The tree's his mum, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I guess make a comparison on that.
Well, there was also the other thing. There was also the other thing in the World's End with the opening. Pretty much the whole opening foreshadowed.
Oh yeah, of course.
The events of the film.
About that as well, didn't we?
Yeah, with everything he narrates at the start pretty much happens again, but in a sort of different way further on. The way people, what happens to people, kind of happens again. She leaves. He says she left us, and then she left him dead. He went at one point. Well, they left him behind at one point, then they leave him behind at one point.
Yeah, so Oliver's
Cesar, you know? And then
like a second ago, and it all, from the opening montage, it repeats.
Yeah.
Yeah, even that little hill they go on, sorry mate, but even in the beginning, you see him and Nick Frost and Simon Pegg as kids, like when they're on the hill, and then you see them at the end when the world's exploding and shit.
And
you see them
outside him.
Yeah.
It's like that,
yeah.
I quickly want to talk about the fight choreography in the film. The fight choreography, I think, since Edgar Wright's left, he went to Hollywood for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and obviously the action scenes in that were pretty good. He's really stepped up his game in that, and I thought, like, the way these fucking blanks, as they're called, are getting chucked around like ragdolls in these pubs, especially with Nick Frost's character Andy, the fighting was fucking amazing.
Yeah, second that. It was fantastic.
It's a big step up since Hot Fuzz and even Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I mean, Shaun of the Dead had... Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the fight scenes. They were really well choreographed.
Yeah, but like Shaun of the Dead, I think it had more. I think it was more memorable though. That's the thing. Shaun of the Dead, like you've got the Queen playing in the background. You've got the rhythm of the attacks and stuff like that, and that made it more. I think it made it stand out more. That's the thing with World's End. I think it had amazing combat and fight scenes, which are really well choreographed. I don't think it amounts to much in the long run. I don't think we'll sort of remember the film for its fight scenes. I don't know.
I kind of disagree, because I something about it, like the way it was, done, and I think obviously, it can be argued that Shaun of the Dead certainly probably has more memorable fight scenes with like Kill the Queen and stuff like that. But I don't know. There was something about that, and like you said earlier, I think when I spoke to you earlier, Steve, I think you're forgetting to take into account Gary trying not to spill his pint while he fights the blanks. I think that is very memorable, actually.
Yeah, that was definitely. Yeah, I'll give you that. I found that hilarious. No, I don't know if anyone else in the cinema found it so funny, but I was in hysterics in that bit.
Literally, I was dying when that came on screen. I literally, they started doing that, and I was turning the mic and be like, "That would be." There's a massive chaos, just like the beer is more
important. That's how I'm like, yeah.
Another thing I want to mention is that. No, go on, Mike.
No, I was just going to say, like, on a pub crawl, I'm very much particularly like that character. Just when I'm set out to do a pub crawl, I'll see it through to the end, and it.
You even have to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I even have a coat.
And Steve looks like a monkey in these.
Yeah,
you could be Clyde from Every Which Way But Loose, like Ed in fucking Shaun of the Dead, when you wear that fucking coat. Jesus Christ. Oh no!
I'm hanging up.
No, anyway, well, again, this is down to like personal taste and stuff like that, but I think Edgar Wright has very good taste in music, and all of his films have pretty good soundtracks, but I think The World's End had the best. Again, it's down to taste, but I think the use of like Britpop, like Primal Scream and fucking the Stone Roses, it really worked well for like the 90s vibe that they were trying to go for, and the nostalgia factor. Yeah, it's Primal Scream, certainly Britpop. Come on, man.
Stone Roses. Britpop.
Stone Roses, yeah.
It's not Blur. Blur's more pop. Stone Roses.
Oasis.
Fuck off, Oasis.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
What do you think of it as an actual end to the trilogy?
I think it's a very good end, and I'm glad that they waited about 6 or 7 years before they did end up finishing it off. They had time to develop as actors, directors, and like do their own things, and writers certainly. And he was fucking spot on with that, to be fair.
I actually think this is the most ambitious thing they've done so far. I mean, I'm not saying it's my favourite one, but I think it was the most ambitious one they've done. I mean, the scale of it was incredible
and
at some
especially
points.
like the last 10-15 minutes. I think that's not to everyone's taste as well. Some people might be disappointed in the way it ended. It wasn't exactly to formula, but I kind of like that. I liked how it just went completely batshit, and it just showed like the vision of the London apocalypse, basically.
Yeah, and the actual final ending, like the last bit with Gary, I actually fucking loved that. That bit really stood out for me. Fucking loved it.
Yeah, in the pub. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. It was wicked. So cool.
Oh my god, it was
You're first. Okay.
The question is, which film, The World's End or Hot Fuzz, will end up having the most memorable lines, quotable lines, you know?
Hot Fuzz, I'm going to say, I think Hot Fuzz, I mean, it's not that well, didn't have its memorable moments, but I just don't know, I just don't think it was as, same with Shaun of the Dead, I think it could really touch Shaun of the Dead's level of, memorable lines or even scenes.
Hot Fuzz has got some fucking, a lot of memorable shit in it.
Yeah, but for me it's Shaun of the Dead at the top, Hot Fuzz second, World's End at the bottom. I still think World's End is fantastic, probably a better film than Hot Fuzz, but I don't know, I don't think it was as memorable, I don't think.
I'm talking about the lines, the quotes.
Yeah.
It's Hot Fuzz.
I mean that too. I'm just saying, like, Hot Fuzz, I don't know, Shaun of the Dead had the most for me. It had the most memorable lines, really funny ones, some really clever ones. I think World's End just didn't really have, the dialogue didn't really cut it to that extent, you know?
Fucking cunt. Come on, man.
Yeah, some of it was very funny, but it wasn't as clever, it wasn't really as witty, and I don't know, and like I said, the whole, like, the Jesus thing about the Bible, that was, it was just a bit lame.
I think there's a couple of lines in Shaun of the Dead that don't really work, and the same with Hot Fuzz. I think, oh, come on, Les.
Not really.
Yeah, but there's always going to be, like, some sort of inconsistency. There's always going to be one line that's not going to work for someone else, you know?
Yeah, certainly. But like during World's End, I think there's just a few bits of dialogue where if it was in Shaun of the Dead, it would have just had funny bits of dialogue scattered throughout it, you know. Even if it's just a funny way of speaking or funny, I don't know, something about it would have been funnier. Like if it was Shaun of the Dead, like with World's End, I think there's lines of dialogue which are just a bit bland, nothing really going on in it, you know. I think they didn't have the same sort of creativity, and I don't know.
No,
that's me. That's just me.
We were quite well done straight afterwards, weren't we, Joel? I mean, together.
King Gay and stuff like that.
Walking up the forest, just cracking up to himself about it. Always a chuckle.
When he just has that mad moment of hitting it with a stick.
There's also Nick Frost with the with the fuck you to the woman, which cracked me up. Especially that. It's so random, but brilliant. I love it.
Josh, what me and you really laughed at was when they was trying to prove that it was like the Thing reference, like they're trying to prove to each other that they are like they're not these blanks and that they've still got the scars from like previous things. And when he tells Peter like to show his leg to say that he's got a tyre track over it though, he's got run over, and he pulls it up and they fucking freak out.
What
and he's like really pissed, like, oh fucking hell, wrong leg, I'm sorry. Like that. I thought that was really funny. It was ha fun.
It was tee hee hee funny.
King Gay.
Yeah.
What was the band that he had on his chest? What was it? His chest.
Yeah, it was.
And at the end they quote Primal Scream's Loaded, don't they?
Oh yes.
Which I very much enjoyed. I like that a lot.
Always that quote again.
What is it exactly that you want us to do? And it's, well, we want to be free. We want to be free to do what we want to do. We want to have a good time. We want to get loaded. I was like, that's a reference to Primal Scream. Sorry, there wasn't enough, melodic death metal in the film for you to do.
There wasn't, yeah. 1 out of 10.
King Gay.
What did everyone think of the sort of like the actual idea of doing it as a sort of aliens this time?
It was interesting because they've always done for the trilogy. It's always been different things, hasn't it? Like the first film, it was a zombie film. Second one was a sort of detective kind of criminal kind of.
It's a buddy cop movie, man.
Well, yeah, buddy cop movie. Yeah, you could say that. I don't know. I don't watch this sort of things, but yeah, it reminded me of sort of like a Jonathan Creek kind of TV series thing where you get like detective sort of shit. I don't know.
It's
mystery.
It starts off like that, and then
mystery
the last 45 minutes it goes into full out like Michael Bay sort of buddy cop film, like Bad Boys and stuff, like Lethal Weapon type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think they pulled off the alien thing better than the Indiana Jones
film
well,
that's
as well.
Fucking
so.
Given. What are you talking about? But no, initially I was worried about like the trailers. I was happy with. I know a lot of people didn't really like the trailers at all, but I was like happy enough to still be with it. But I was thinking going to be really tough if it's, because at first no one knew what, they knew it was going to be called The World's End. And they didn't know, everyone was upset that they thought, oh, it's just an apocalypse movie, there's going to be no aliens or monsters or robots in it. And I think they pulled off the apocalypse really well with, including these sort of like robot aliens surrounding it. And I really just think it was fantastically done and well written, and it didn't disappoint. Whether it's like some people think it's the weakest of the trilogy, I'm sure like a lot of you say that it was really, really fucking enjoyable.
I'd say it's on par with the rest. I'm not sure if I prefer it or not to Hot Fuzz, but I'd say it's on par with, like, you know, a good standard, you know?
I think the thing about all three films is that they're pretty much the same level of likability to me, really.
Yeah.
I can love all three of them. And I can't really prefer one.
It was a trilogy I was just happy to sit through in it.
Because
I had a great time, yeah.
I'm the type of guy I could usually sit through an entire trilogy. Well, that was pretty enjoyable the way through there, so I wasn't getting uncomfortable or edgy or anything. It was great.
Well, I think I'll go out and say that it's one of my favourite trilogies ever. Actually, it's to me it's up there with the original Star Wars films. It's up there with, you know, the Evil Dead trilogy, which I'm a big fan of. Stuff like I think they're so consistent. Whether there's any weaker ones or not, it's a consistent trilogy, and they're all fun, and they're always funny, and they're always well made, and there's always surprises. And to me, that's just a stamp of like a fantastic, you know, trilogy.
I think that World's End is like the Two Towers of its own trilogy.
What do you mean?
Because Two Towers for me was like probably the weakest one, but not the. I said Two Towers, not Twin Towers.
Twin Towers. The Twin Towers. That's
Two
just
Towers.
offensive. I know you hate Muslims,
Right.
but you can't talk about that stuff on radio. Can I not watch?
Can you not talk about Muslims?
Has anyone got any final thoughts on the film? So everyone, just give the last sort of thoughts on it before I put us to the end.
It was shit, would not bang.
10 out of 10.
I would say, at first I thought the intro dragged a bit.
Yeah, same. I don't think it dragged.
But when it finally got into it, I was like, yeah, okay, it's good.
Oh, your enthusiasm, you know, has taken me aback. My hair is like, you know, swerving in the wind with your enthusiasm there. I know. Oscar-worthy fucking, you know, description right there.
I'm actually might masturbate over that.
Oh, I'm just going through what was going through my mind while I was watching it. And those exact words were exactly what was going through my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, alright, yeah, this is
good.
yeah, this is getting good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Alright. Okay.
Okay.
I would have a final thought, I suppose. But, yeah.
What a story, Mark. Let me think. Yeah, it was a great film. I wasn't expecting that much, actually. I was actually expecting to be disappointed, even though I heard from Joel that it was absolutely amazing, like the best of the trilogy, but I usually ignore his musings on films. Sorry, man. But, I was
you
actually
ignored my musings, and you said
that.
that Shaun of the Dead was shit, and you never wanted to watch it, and now it's one of your favourite films, so shut the fuck up!
Yeah, alright. I'll give you that. Yeah, true. And Good, Bad and the Ugly as well. Gotta give you that.
Good, Bad, and the Ugly? Oh, of course.
Good, Bad and the Ugly. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I'm sorry, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, the trailers, sort of seemed kind of mediocre to me. But once I actually saw the film, everything sort of came into place. And I was actually surprised at how good it was, actually. And it was really ambitious, as I said before. Bloody, incredible at points. So yeah, I mean, great film. Got no other things to say, really.
Well, I really loved it. At the moment, it's my favourite in the trilogy. Certainly better than Scott Pilgrim, but that's not a bad film either.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, I think
that
Edgar Wright has brought a lot of, like, you know, his visual style that you get from Spaced and the Cornetto trilogy into that. And that humour comes over, and the humour isn't straight from the graphic novels. There's a lot of the Cornetto in there, but it's, you know, they are sort of different beasts. But I do think that it is a good thing that he did that, because the action sequences and the style has really improved since he's been to Hollywood.
I think the World's End's success is very much off of how successful, how far Edgar Wright went from Scott Pilgrim, and how it's so different from, in a way, you can class it as being so very different from Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, of how far it's developed, particularly the choreographed action scenes.
Actually, you know what? This has actually got me really hyped for Ant-Man. I mean, seeing the sort of sci-fi elements here and the combat stuff done so well, it makes it really promising to see Ant-Man, how that will turn out.
I really wasn't impressed by the test footage.
though, isn't it?
Oh, it's early stuff though, isn't it?
It's kind of stuck.
It looked alright, actually. I thought it was pretty cool.
I doubt that very much. Like, I don't think anyone's going to see Ant-Man, regardless if it's good or not, because...
I mean, it's one of the most uninteresting characters
the only
in
reason
fucking
I
comic book
want to see it
history.
is because Edgar Wright's directing it.
So, Aquaman is probably...
Yeah, same here.
Who said Aquaman?
Aquaman's quite popular.
Aquaman's the shit.
I wouldn't say Aquaman.
Lots of people hate him, but
Why would you say
Quite a lame superhero.
he's like...
He fucking
He's not that
talks to sea turtles, man. That's awesome.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, he also like makes sharks jump
and
out of the water and
he's got,
attack people and shit. I don't know.
A lime green jumper and like little orange tights on. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a bit of a faggot. It's no worse than, what's he called, Namor, the guy from Marvel. He's a bit of a fag too.
Yeah, the thing about Aquaman, right? He has to... The source of his powers is obviously from water. What was he going to do when he finds himself in the city? What, go down to his sewers?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
He can hang around with crocodiles.
Attacked by the toilet.
You can cover people in
I
shit.
think, to be
if you want.
fair,
That'll
if
stop him.
Aquaman was going to have a fight with like any Marvel villain, he could really take on the Green Troll.
The Green Troll. I like his little hat.
Toffee!
Toffee! Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry, it's an inside
Okay,
joke. I
sorry,
haven't
guys.
spoken to Steven in a while. Well, I love
Who
him.
gives a fuck?
He's my
You
buddy.
can carry on. He's not your boyfriend.
Now
What?
I shall bring us to the conclusion. I can't say what we'll be doing next week. I haven't planned that far ahead. But that pretty much sums up our sort of overview of after seeing The World's End yesterday and Steve saw it today. So that's pretty much sums it up for this week, and hopefully next week I would actually have a name for the podcast.